As we continue working on our artworks inspired by artist Hanni, you might be on the stage where you are still drawing with pencil. Some of you might be on the stage where you're tracing, either with a black colored pencil or a marker, or you might be ready for the next steps. So if you're still drawing, obviously do your best job, but let's try to work efficiently as we can. If you're tracing, one of the things to consider is what material is going to work best. I used a black colored pencil to trace most of these because I found that the fine pencil point really works better than the Sharpie for reaching some of the small details I created. So I've already traced these and I'm ready for the next step, which is adding color. An optional step before that, if you want, is to take an eraser and to erase some of the regular graphite lines from underneath. You could choose to do that. I think it can make it look tidier, but it also runs the risk of potentially erasing some of the colored pencil. So you can think about if you want to do that step. When we add color today, you will get a choice of using colored pencils or markers, or even a combination of these two. I think it can be a really good idea to be very careful with whatever supply you're using. For example, if I was going to color this little design, I want to make it look like it's one fluffy creature. So I'm going to color in little circles to sort of accentuate the roundness of the form. And I'm going really slowly and being careful so I can do my best job. Even if you're not coloring something small and cute, trying to color in circles might be a fun experiment for you, because what happens is it does a really good job at covering the whole space without leaving big gaps. So it looks very nice and uniform. I'll show you on a scratched piece of paper what I mean so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Suppose this is the shape I want to fill in. If I go in circles, it's easier for me to control my pencil and stay inside the edges. This is something that may take practice, but it's worth giving it a try. Another tip for being neat is to also really go around the edges and make sure they are all filled in as well. And you could either do that first or last. Similarly, if we're using marker to color, you want to be aware of the shape of the marker and try to watch where the tip is going as you're coloring. If I'm using the wide line on purpose in the middle, that can be fine. But if I get to an area that's smaller, I can make sure that just the tip of the nib of my marker is touching, so that I can stay inside that shape. Markers do, for this project, tend to color a little bit quicker than colored pencils, I think, but especially since it's quicker to do, we really want to do our very best job at coloring neatly to make all of our hard work look worth it. The artist used a kind of rainbow gradient pattern across it. That can create some nice uniformity. If you would like to do that, you can. You don't have to. You can also just choose to color each of these little drawings or designs as you want to. But however you're coloring and with whatever materials, the slower and more careful you go, the better it's going to look. So take your time and try your best, and I'm excited to see your artwork today.